Hello, it's turn number 10, January 1941. The Germans lost their ability to do their double move this turn. Actually, last turn was their last chance, and they did not have the forces to do it. They got attacked by the Allies from France last time instead. So, we'll see. Let's start with Germany here first. So, they successfully convoyed down here, and in here the escort has moved since. They took $7 off the British through those two convoys. The rest of their subs are all sunk, so those are the only two subs they have left, and they got no money to spend on subs right now. Germany did get advanced mechs, so they built 5 each here, and they built an infantry over here. They railed over these 2 artillery and light tanks from Warsaw. Let's see what else happened. I had a big stack in here that came and attacked the French over here, knocked them down to 1 infantry, but the French have reinforced, and eliminated the British. The British have, I think, the writing's on the wall for France, so they held them off for 4 turns, so that's good. That's good enough, and they lost a lot of units and a lot of money, and they haven't annexed anything else or taken anything else. So they attacked that and then retreated with 1 infantry left and 1 fighter remaining from the French. On this side here, they did the same thing, but they retreated when they only had the tanks left and the 4 aircraft. So yeah, they lost a pile of infantry and whatnot. But they did beat down the French forces quite a bit. They went from 13 infantry down to 8. So that's quite a change. They also lost 2 artillery in that and whatnot, a couple of militia. So that was an effective round. I have the rolling for that along with Spain here, where they managed to take out an infantry and artillery. They lost a tank in the process and an infantry, and then they got lend-leased one by the Italians. They got the recruitment roll after they took this place, so they just placed the guy there. That's what happened there. France still has 3 fighters in Paris and 5 infantry, 6 including the Foreign Legion. So I don't know. Germany doesn't have the ability to double blitz, and it doesn't have an airborne anymore, so they're not going to bother with trying to keep that place because it's not going to be taken. The only way Germany could take this in 1 turn is if it managed to blitz into Paris and take out Paris. Unlikely, but you never know. So they've stacked that up as much as they could. The Americans moved these 2 fast battleships to stage 2 and built 2 regular Marines in San Francisco. The British moved this little fleet here from here, took the 2 guys, went 1-2, dropped them off at Gibraltar. They also had a fighter from up here fly down and land on the light carrier, so that they needed to move out here so they could scoop up a fighter so that they can come either hunting this sub or that sub. Alright, I probably don't need all these units on escort anymore, but since there's no more subs this turn, but we'll see. It doesn't hurt to leave them out there and then gather them up when I need them. Italy's got improved construction along with Japan, Britain, Russia. All of them have improved construction. So Italy started a battleship, built this marine, and then built that infantry over there. They'd saved $1 or 2. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 from last turn. They've done that a couple times. So if you're wondering, sometimes when Italy spends like $2 or 3 extra dollars, it's because they spent say $8 of their 10 and saved 2, and then spend it on something else the next turn. It's been, you know, not exactly strategic, but it's been what's been happening. All right, nothing happened in the Middle East. Oh, Russia did take this. I forgot to put the roundel down there. They moved in from Iraq Azerbaijan, and I think, no, from Iraq and from here, Transcaucasia. And these guys reinforced down. The mountains are slowing them down in their movement. And I railed, I think, 2 infantry down there as well. The Russians had a pile of money, so, and they also got advanced mechs, so they built 5, 10, 14 advanced mechs, because they're making a pile of bank. Yeah, so that's Russia. So they went up no money, because that place is worth nothing, but they'd go up there, and I can't remember if Russia rolled a 4, I think, this turn. I moved them up already. The Americans did roll a 7 in their increase. And there was some weird stuff going on down here. I rolled this out earlier as well. I made a foolish mistake and I only attacked this, or had a screening force of a torpedo boat destroyer and a destroyer, and I couldn't get a hit, and the sub fluked out twice. So this whole attack here got called off, and these guys are stuck on the transports, which happens to be a transport and a destroyer. Failure on my part. Note to self, make sure your screening force is large enough to be sure. I dedicated way too much to the bombardment. Down here, we took this one. My screening force was much larger, so it wasn't an issue, although the aircraft were involved in the land battle. Same thing with here. These guys built a destroyer and an infantry. They've been getting their bonus, but they didn't get it this time because there's... Oh no, these aren't enemies, so they still get it. You need to give them an extra $2, so they make 9 instead of 7. FEC, they pulled their fleet out to here because Japan's moving down here, and they might be needed to maybe take that sub out. This is an Italian one, by the way. They're pretty close in color. I kind of wish that I'd made them a slightly different color. It's easy to tell in person, but on the camera I notice it's hard to tell. These guys bought a colonial down here and upgraded a militia, so they got 2 extra infantry and lost the militia. They also built a fighter in here. Now, Japan also had another attack. It had units here, here, and here, along with the 4 aircraft that are here now, but were here. They all came into Yunnan and attacked it, and this is what's left. KMT lost their money. They only had $4 in the bank, so they just built 2 militia. CCP had 2. They built 2 militia, and they still get their bonus because this is connected to USSR territory. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not sure if I move this Japanese forces into Russia if need be, or at least threaten to do it through the back end of China, just because Russia has got a lot of units and Germany's a weak thing. What else did we do? We built 3 destroyers and a stack of 4 infantry and I think a light tank. Or was this light tank already here? No, that light tank was already there. So that's basically what happened this past turn. I did a lot of tech rolling. I can't remember who got what, because before I start a game, I typically, or when I start a turn, before I do anything for them, including their buys, I give them their tech roll, then I do their buys, then I give the next guy their tech roll, do their buys, and whatnot. So, and that is that story. Alright, so just in case you're interested, I don't seem to know how to turn this up high enough from a distance. There we go. So the techs are quite varied. I cannot remember which ones are which. I've got a lot of rolling, but the Japanese and the Italians both have this one. They're stacked on top of each other, as do the British in that. I know for sure that the advanced mechs, these 2 got these this turn. Jet fighters, that's new this turn. And I'm not sure what else happened here. So far the only one with wartime economy that's actually at war is Germany, and I think that's the only reason it's still alive. All right, so let's take a peek at incomes here. The British, French, and Germans did not trade any land. No incomes changed, so they're still at 26, 29, and 18. FECs and Australia are at their starting amounts. KMT is off the board along with the CCP. They have no earnings. Japan bumped itself up to 3 actually, from one from China, 2 from the Dutch. The Dutch are a neutral minor, so the US rolled. They were at 18. They rolled 7 income, and they rolled, I can't remember what, on their 2D12. That brought them up to 35. I could do the math, but I just don't care to do it right now. And Russia rolled a 4 to bring their income from their home country to 38 out of 46. And they also have $10 extra income from conquered territory that do not have the roundel printed on it. So Russia's turning into a monster. So my last thoughts on this one. If you guys are interested in some of my rolling with the French and the Germans, the Japanese attacks, and I had some stuff going on in Spain as well. They'll be on a separate video that comes out after this. I just put them all together in one big shot there. I set up all the battles and just rolled them all together as I did the turn. So let's see. And sometimes some people don't want to watch that, so I took it out. Now you'll notice that the Germans have 2 infantry on this side. That's it. Russians have these 3 infantry here, but they got a bit of a very minor stack in Leningrad. They're starting to build up some fast movers down here. All these units can reach here in one turn if need be. So they may be preparing for something. I'm just not sure what yet. And as it sits right now, Russia's got a few other places it can take over. Like it's got this pile of planes it can use to attack this stuff next. Once it takes this, it's cool. It can even take Bulgaria, because the pact only says that it won't attack Hungary and Romania. So if they come through Turkey and then take Bulgaria, that's going to be a slap to the Germans. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, just a roundabout look at this here. Just to explain some of what happened here. I did have 4 advanced artilleries that moved in and reinforced this stack here, if you watch my rolling, because I only had 1 and the 4 tanks. I also, I explained this already. So these were already here, and then I built 5 of these, and I got 2 planes there and 2 fighters up there. It's not looking good for the Germans. They probably will tank France next turn, maybe, but maybe not. But it's not looking good. That'll be July 1941, the date, the turn that Pearl Harbor is supposed to happen before France falls, if they manage to blitz through these 2 locations and then take out the capital, because they're not going to be able to surround it fully. We'll see what happens. It could be interesting. Anyhow, that's about it for this turn. So that is, I've been showing this for a while. Let's show it again. So we've just completed January 41. The next turn will be July 41. So I'm just going to mark down turn 10 here. The next one will be 11. I hope to see you then.